So we're here with Will Seeley from Summer, CEO, co-founder. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Tell me how you take your coffee.
So I definitely like it. It's a touch of milk, but on the blacker side, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where you're from and how you came to be.
Yeah, great question. I'm here in New York, and this is where I was born and raised. My mom grew up in the New York area, first in New Jersey, relocated to New York. My dad's actually was born in Zimbabwe and then relocated to the UK. So very much an international family. My mother had student debt. She went to CUNY here in New York, transferred eventually to Columbia, had to borrow a lot of loans to pay for that tuition. Even when I was a kid, she was still paying those loans. And it was always sort of on my mind that weighed heavily on her as a huge financial burden. Simultaneously, my dad, who, as I said, grew up in the European system, had an education system that supported him throughout and didn't actually have student debt as a result of that. And just comparing those two experiences about how they went through life differently just gave me at a very young age a very different outlook on the way people pay for education. And I think that's partly what started my passion for this topic before I even myself took on student debt.
Is there any stories that you can share that you feel like reflect who you are today?
I was in college, I was working on the Obama campaign. I was one of those annoying people with a clipboard flagging you down.
Were you wearing yellow or like some gray color?
No, I wore a pink Obama hat, so yeah, in a way I really tried to stand out with like some eye-catching color that would really grab your attention. Arguably, this was like the first year that street canvassing was even a thing. We're going all the way back over 10 years ago. And in that moment, this woman who was a little bit older stopped and started talking to me. And she's, we were talking about the election and what was at stake. And she said, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but I do want to say healthcare has been the hardest thing in my life because I just came through having breast cancer. I had to have an operation, and I didn't have good health insurance, and it's completely destroyed my finances. I now might not even be able to afford my apartment. And I was pretty young. I was with a singular goal of like getting people excited about the election. Despite that goal, I had to back out of that mindset and really empathize and connect with her. And it completely opened my eyes to a totally different aspect of all of this, which is like why this all matters. And to me, it was there are real people out there going through real life experiences every day. And to them, it's what are the solutions? What are the things that are going to make my life better? And I wanted to become part of those solutions. We were hugging in the street, both crying our eyes out. At the end of the day, I felt like that conversation was more meaningful than the conversation I had the day before where someone wrote me a check for $25,000. While that person made a massive contribution financially, it was the woman who told me her life story that had more vulnerability and told me exactly what this meant to her, who couldn't even give a cent. And that to me was a huge motivator and has been ever since for why I care about all of the work that I do. Because I know that student loans, different obviously than a health concern, are still something that's such a burden on people's minds. Providing a solution for them every day reminds me of that story.
What's the problem here? Who's it affecting and what can happen with that?
Yeah, so just at a top line level, what we're seeing is 45 million borrowers are on the hook for an outstanding $1.5 trillion of student debt. It is something where the average borrower has about $30,000 of student debt that they're paying, but keep in mind that there are millions of people who have more than, say, $300,000, $400,000 of debt. We do see that some people have just from undergrad now, coming out of schools like NYU, USC, $200,000-$300,000 of debt just from their undergraduate programs. And so this issue definitely affects a lot of people. 1 in 5 borrowers are currently defaulting on their loans. This is shockingly high for any credit market. And what we're seeing is reports coming out increasingly that by 2023, we're gonna see 40% of borrowers defaulting on loans. That's 2 in 5. And this is just a national problem that we really need to address. What that means is every 28 seconds, another borrower defaults on a loan. What default really means is that that individual can lose their driver's license. They have trouble getting career checks. If they want a job for a background check, they might fail based on their credit being hurt.
I didn't even know that. You can fail a job interview or background check based on your credit.
Exactly. You default on your loan, it impacts your credit, and then as you go out, if you try to find a job, you might not be able to get one. So there are 120 known loan forgiveness options. These are programs out there that are issued nationally, by state, by career, where even towns and cities are now putting out loan forgiveness programs specifically for student loan borrowers. And I think it's getting to the point where people there's so many programs, they don't even know where to look. And a lot of these programs can be mutually exclusive. You can do one but not the other. We think that there's almost $500 billion in untapped loan forgiveness that we're tapping into with our software to help borrowers find those programs and apply directly into them, helping them understand which are mutually exclusive and which are additive.
What has Summer accomplished so far?
We've done a lot of really exciting things. Just at our get-go, we were able to partner with Yale University early on, and they invested in our building a product. We've gone and built that product, and we now have several hundred users in a recent beta release. We're gearing up for a full public launch for universities around the country, and even in a direct-to-consumer approach, anyone can come on who has student loans and start using our product to lower their monthly payments and access forgiveness benefits. My driving force is imagining a world in which every student loan borrower has access to better resources and tools to navigate an unbelievably complex repayment process, where they can see all of their loans in one place, where with the click of a button, they are always lowering their monthly payment if they can't afford it, increasing it if they want to pay it down faster, and always getting access to the multitude of hundreds of loan forgiveness opportunities to just knock out that debt from the get-go. In order to do that, Summer needs to build a product that's scalable to 45 million people. But it's something that we're making progress on step by step by step. We're starting with hundreds of borrowers. We're soon turning to thousands. I think by 2020, we could be in the hundreds of thousands, and then hopefully after that, starting to turn to millions of people. There's a certain amount of excitement there, obviously, in building that and learning day in and day out how to do it better. And really that is one of the things that just drives me to make sure that we execute on those goals.
Tell me real quickly about a success story for Summer.
Yeah, we just got in touch with a user who came to us named Corey. She's a nurse based in Tennessee, and she found out about us because her dad sent her an article that mentioned Summer. She uploaded what is a whopping amount of $330,000 of student debt from her studies.
$330,000.
Yeah, it's real bad. Many medical professionals do as well. And thankfully, by uploading her loans, not only was she able to see them all in one place and understand just what her options were, we found her a better repayment plan that lowers her monthly payment from $2,400 down to $600.
Wow.
It will. So there's this program called income-driven repayment. Based on her income, she is able to lower her monthly payment, and there are 4 different programs within that. We found the one called Pay As You Earn that will lower her monthly payment down, and this is a government program. 22 million people are eligible. 14 million people have not enrolled. So we were able to get her aware of this program. She didn't know about it, get her into it, and it'll save her not just $20,000 this year, but she's on track to save over $200,000 overall.
Wow.
We're also working to get her some nurse loan forgiveness programs and try to lower her debt further. So to me, this is a perfect example of the power of what Summer can do.
So what's next for you? What's next for Summer? What are you looking forward to most?
We have already partnered with a bunch of different colleges around the country that are providing Summer to their students. A really new exciting thing that just has come across our plate is employers are now reaching out saying, we really want Summer for our employees as a workplace benefit, where student debt is their #1 concern. We want to help them with that. And so TBD, some exciting updates coming soon. We will be integrating in with a bunch of different employers going forward.
That's awesome. I really appreciate that this is a real problem.
Yeah.
This is affecting so many people, and you're dedicating your time, your energy, your focus to something real, and it means a lot that we're able to partner with an organization like yours. So thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for being here, and I'm excited for what Summer is going to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for your time, Will. Everyone check out meetsummer.org.
Thanks, and if you come, we'll give you early access to our app, and we'll look to tackle your debt.